Breathe in slowly and notice the subtle space between each inhale and exhale. Let your awareness expand into directions you cannot see, tracing invisible pathways that stretch beyond ordinary reality. Imagine a world where every moment, every thought, every feeling is part of a gentle higher dimensional dance, shapes folding, currents of time flowing, and possibilities drifting softly around you. Picture your consciousness as a quiet light moving through unseen corridors. A presence brushes past, not to startle or overwhelm, but to ripple softly through your mind like gentle waves. Each ripple carries curiosity, wonder, and calm, letting you feel the hidden architecture of reality without needing to understand it. Tonight, we will drift together into this soft, infinite space. Every breath guides you deeper. Every heartbeat aligns with the rhythm of dimensions. The universe hums quietly, inviting you to rest, to imagine, and to fold gently into the mystery of all that exists. Here, in this stillness, sleep comes as a natural companion. Close your eyes for a moment and picture the quiet world behind your eyelids. There, even in darkness, faint colors drift, reds that fade into warmth, blues that melt into stillness. Every day, your eyes gather light from the surface of things. They touch the world through brightness and shade, through tiny differences in glow and shadow. The world you see feels full, complete, real. Yet, it is only a fraction of what exists. Each color, each shimmer, is just a thread of a much larger weave. Your eyes can taste only a narrow slice of the light that fills the universe. Beyond red, beyond violet, endless shades continue, invisible, yet humming softly all around. Waves too long, too short, too faint for sight. The world is awash in them, but your eyes are tuned like a delicate instrument, built to play only a few notes from a cosmic song. Think of how sunlight falls on water. To you, it glitters, bright, silver, alive. But to the creatures beneath the surface, that same light bends and breaks, dancing differently through their liquid sky. Their world is shaped by what water allows them to see, just as ours is shaped by air. And like fish who know only the shimmer above, we too live within our own small bubble of perception, a thin film between the visible and the unseen. Even sound follows the same quiet rule. Some creatures hear the deep hums of the earth, the slow throb of distant thunder rolling underground. Others catch the quick whispers of high, sharp tones, far beyond what our ears can hold. Every sense is a doorway, and every doorway has its frame. Beyond the edges of our awareness, whole worlds continue, silent, invisible, yet always there. Your eyes trace shape and depth with precision, sculpting the air into form. Shadows stretch and fold, lines meet and separate, color spills into meaning. And yet, behind every image lies something unseen, a depth that light alone cannot reveal. When you look at the horizon, you see the world curving gently away, hiding more than it shows. You see only the face of the world, never its soul. Perhaps that's part of the beauty. The limits themselves make perception tender. Every glance is temporary, every color a translation, every shape a guess. And still, your mind weaves a whole reality from this fragile stream of light. The mystery doesn't diminish it, it deepens it. So, as you sit within the quiet of your room, consider this: the world you see is not the world entire. It is your version of it, a delicate painting brushed by photons, interpreted by nerves, and softened by memory. We see enough to live, to wonder, to dream. But just beyond the edges of sight, where your vision fades into darkness, something more continues, patiently waiting to be imagined. And what if, just past that edge, another way of seeing begins? Imagine, for a moment, that you're a tiny being who can move only forward and back, left and right, but never up or down. Your world is a flat, endless sheet. You glide along its surface, tracing lines, turning corners, never suspecting there could be anything above you. This is your home, a world without height, only length and width. To you, it feels complete. Now picture a second being, a visitor who lives one step higher, someone who can rise gently above the sheet, hovering where you cannot. From their view, your whole world lies open. They can see every wall, every boundary, every secret corner that you cannot. To you, this being would seem like a miracle, something that appears and disappears at will, slipping through walls, knowing what's hidden behind every door. If such a being reached down to touch your flat world, what would you see? Perhaps just a line that appears out of nowhere. As they pass through, that line might stretch, shift, then vanish. You would never glimpse the full shape, only the cross-section, the shadow of something greater. And yet, you and that visitor are not so different. We too live within our own dimension, a spacious three-dimensional world of height, width, and depth. It feels boundless. We move through rooms, mountains, and skies, believing we see the whole picture. But if there were another direction, one that extends beyond all three we know, we would be like those flat beings again, tracing our world's surface, unaware of the space above. Dimensions are not walls, they are directions. Each one is an added freedom, a new way to move, a deeper way to exist. The first is a line, the second a plane, the third a solid. Each step adds possibility, each direction unlocks new patterns. Yet from within, the leap to the next always feels impossible. Try to imagine this fourth direction. It is not up, not down, not left or right. It's a path your body cannot turn toward, but your mind can. Just as a shadow is the flat echo of a three-dimensional form. Perhaps our whole world is the faint imprint of a larger, higher one. When you look at a cube's shadow, you see only dark lines on a surface, a projection of something more complete. Likewise, our own reality might be the shadow of something grander, gently pressing through our space. We wouldn't see its shape, only its passing, the way light shifts, or moments feel connected without reason. So, what lies beyond the directions we know? Perhaps another form of movement, not through space, but through a new kind of depth. We cannot step there, but we can imagine it. And in imagination, the walls of our dimension grow softer, thin enough for wonder to pass through. Close your eyes and imagine light drifting softly across a room. Every object you know, your hand, a chair, a leaf, casts a shadow. It's a silent companion, a two-dimensional echo of a three-dimensional thing. Now imagine we are the shadows. If a cube can cast a square, what happens when a four-dimensional cube, a tesseract, casts its shadow into our world? What would it look like to us, trapped within our three-dimensional view? Perhaps it would unfold in strange and mesmerizing ways, edges folding through each other like a flower opening in reverse, layers of geometry rotating with impossible grace. What we'd see might appear to melt, stretch, and bloom, as if space itself were breathing. Our minds try to grasp it, but language trembles. We live inside three-axis length, width, and height. Yet in mathematics, there is room for one more, a direction perpendicular to all we know, a dimension we cannot point to, but can only sense through analogy. Just as a flat creature living on a page cannot imagine. We cannot truly imagine beyond depth, and yet we can feel its whisper. Imagine a world visitor, a being from the fourth dimension, gently passing through our space. You would not see it enter as a whole. Instead, parts of it would appear and disappear, like pieces of a dream folding in and out of sight. A sphere from that higher world might first appear as a dot, then swell into a circle, then shrink again until it vanishes, not because it left, but because it moved in a direction we cannot follow. Perhaps the universe is full of such crossings, ripples of higher existence brushing the fabric of our own. We only catch their faintest shimmer, like shadows dancing on the wall of a cave we've never left. In this calm wonder lies a truth, both humbling and beautiful. Our eyes, our instruments, even our language, they capture only the projection of something deeper, a shadow of a greater form. So when you gaze at the night sky, at the patterns of light that seem to move beyond comprehension, imagine that they are not merely distant suns, but the dim silhouettes of something vast, unfolding just beyond reach. Let your thoughts drift there for a moment, not to understand, but to feel, as if the walls of your world are gently expanding, and somewhere in the quiet distance, a higher world is casting its shadow upon your dreams. There is a gentle comfort in knowing that we do not see everything, not because we are blind, but because the universe chose to let mystery breathe. Each of us lives within a horizon, a soft boundary where light fades into the unknown. The ocean has one, where water meets sky. The mind has one, where knowledge meets wonder. Beyond it there is more, but not for us to hold all at once. And that is all right. Our eyes were not designed to master the infinite. They were made to marvel at it, to trace sunlight on water, to follow the curve of a hill, to watch the slow fading of color at dusk. In those small visions lies a quiet truth, that the limits of perception are not walls, but windows. The horizon does not say, stop. It whispers, imagine what lies beyond. We often think of boundaries as prisons, the edges of our knowing, the borders of what we can touch. But what if they are simply frames for beauty? A painting is not made by endless space, but by where space ends. Music moves us not through constant sound, but through pauses between notes. Perhaps the same is true for reality. That meaning blooms in the spaces we cannot reach. Somewhere, there are colors our eyes cannot see, sounds our ears cannot hear, dimensions our minds cannot map. Yet their existence doesn't make our experience lesser. It makes it wondrous. The unseen gives texture to the seen. The unknown gives shape to the known. Imagine a fish swimming near the surface of the sea. To it, the shimmer above is merely a ceiling of light. But to us, it is a surface, a bridge between worlds. The fish is not foolish for not knowing the sky. It is fulfilled within its water. And perhaps we too are fulfilled within our space, aware that there are skies beyond our skies, yet content to gaze from where we are. When we reach the humble horizon of our understanding, we are not meant to break through it in frustration. We are meant to stand there, still, calm, curious, and let the wind of wonder move through us. So tonight, as your thoughts drift toward the edges of what you can know, let peace rise in place of yearning. Let the unseen be not a challenge, but an invitation. The stars beyond sight still shine. The truths beyond language still exist. You don't have to grasp the infinite to belong to it. You already do. The horizon was never the end. It was always the beginning of your imagination. Everything begins with almost nothing. A single point, silent, still, without size or shape. It has no length, no height, no depth. Yet in that quiet speck rests the seed of every form the universe will ever make. It is the first whisper of existence. Now imagine that point moving, slowly, gracefully. As it glides, it leaves behind a faint trace, a path, a stretch of presence. The point becomes a line. One direction is born. It can go forward or back, left or right, but never both at once. It is the simplest journey. A thought given motion. Let the line move again, this time sideways. It sweeps gently across space, carrying its trace with it. Now, what was once a line becomes a square, a flat field where light can rest. Here we discover two directions, two freedoms, forward and sideways. The line has found a home upon a surface, but the story isn't finished. Let the square lift, not forward, not sideways, but up. That small step awakens a new world, the cube. Now, for the first time, there is depth. Shadows can fall. Corners can hide. Shapes can breathe. What was once only flat now carries inside and outside, near and far. Three directions weave together to make the place we call home, the quiet architecture of our everyday reality. Each dimension is a gentle unfolding, one possibility opening into another. 0 becomes 1, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, from stillness to motion, from motion to form, from form to life. The ladder rises quietly, rung by rung, built not from mystery but from direction. Everything around you, every tree, every hand, every breath, is part of this third dimensional song. It is the world of touch and distance, of movement and rest. Yet deep within it lingers a question, soft as wind between the leaves. If a line can become a square, and a square can become a cube, what might the cube become? The pattern does not stop here. The same gentle rule, one new direction, one deeper way to move, continues its rhythm beyond what our eyes can follow. Perhaps, just beyond this familiar space, there is another step waiting. Another unfolding, quiet and invisible, where our minds have yet to walk. For now, we rest in the beauty of what we can see, the simple miracle that began with a single point. Every form, every color, every movement, all born from the soft geometry of direction. And as you breathe, you can almost sense it, the next step of the pattern, hovering just beyond the edge of knowing. A whisper of what might come after the cube, a quiet question that hums through space itself. What lies in the next direction? Close your eyes for a moment and picture the world you know. A room, perhaps. Walls around you. The floor beneath your feet. The ceiling above. Every shape, every corner, every familiar depth. You can move forward, backward, left, right, up, and down. The three gentle directions that cradle your entire existence. Now imagine there is another direction, one you cannot point toward. It isn't above or below. It isn't to the side. It slips quietly between all the places you can reach, like a hidden fold in space. This, softly, is the fourth direction. Try not to think of it as something strange or distant. Think of it instead as something once invisible, now waiting to be noticed. Like a color that has always been there, but your eyes could not yet see. Imagine a creature who lives on a flat page. It slides forward and back, left and right, two directions, no more. To that creature, the idea of up is nonsense. It cannot imagine it, because it cannot turn its eyes that way. But we from above the page can see it easily. We know what up means. Now place yourself in that same story. We too live upon our page, only ours is a page of 3 dimensions. We move through it comfortably, tracing lines through air and matter. Yet somewhere above, or perhaps beyond, another direction exists, one that turns away from every path we know. A direction our senses cannot follow, but our imagination can. If you try to picture it, the mind begins to stretch. You may see a cube slowly unfolding, each face bending into a shape that does not fit our world. Edges twisting like ribbons, corners blooming into forms that drift in and out of sight. This is not confusion, it is curiosity meeting its horizon. The fourth dimension is not a place, it is a possibility. It is the idea that space itself may have one more step to take, one more way to move, hidden not by distance, but by design. And maybe, just as a flat creature could never climb from its page, we too cannot step into that unseen direction. But that doesn't mean it isn't there. It only means we are looking from within. Think of this, the very same space you live in might be gently folded, holding more than you can see. Perhaps every moment, every movement, passes through that quiet fold, invisible, but real, like air that carries sound. The next direction is not far away. It is right here, intertwined with every breath, woven through the room around you. You cannot look toward it, but maybe you can feel it, a quiet expansion at the edge of thought, whispering that space still has secrets left to unfold. We often think of time as something we move through, like a river carrying us forward. But perhaps time is more like a direction, a gentle, invisible path that traces the shape of our lives, quietly shaping the world as we pass through it. Close your eyes and imagine your own life as a line drawn in space. Each memory is a curve, each choice a bend, each day a small stretch of that line. The moments pile softly atop one another, forming a thread that leads from who you were to who you are now. In this sense, your life moves not only forward, but also upward, outward, tracing a path that no one else can fully follow. Now, think of the fourth dimension, the quiet direction we cannot see. Perhaps it is not distant from us. Perhaps it is time itself. Every step we take, every breath we draw, moves along this hidden axis, unfolding the cube of our experience in ways we cannot fully perceive. Our bodies exist in three directions, but our consciousness drifts gently along another, weaving a line through the unseen. Imagine watching a film of your own life, not as a series of moments, but as a single, flowing shape. Childhood stretches like a soft curve, adolescence folds like a gentle peak, adulthood settles into calm plains. Each phase is a slice along the fourth direction, a quiet passage from one corner of your being to another. And though you cannot step sideways into this dimension, you move through it naturally, moment by moment, memory by memory. Time as a fourth dimension brings a gentle clarity. What once seemed linear becomes layered. Past and present ripple together, shaping patterns in your mind and heart. Regret, longing, anticipation, these are not chains, but threads tracing the hidden curves of your own existence. Every memory, every experience, is a soft folding of space itself, moving quietly along a direction beyond sight. Consider this when you remember a place. You do not see it with your eyes. You feel it, you trace it, you inhabit it. That is the fourth dimension in action. It is not distant or strange. It is already here, flowing through you. It teaches patience, perspective, and calm, because it reminds you that life is never flat, never bound entirely to what you can touch. And so, in the quiet of your mind, let the idea settle. The fourth dimension is not a distant mystery. It is the gentle unfolding of your own existence. Your memories, your thoughts, your moments, they are all traveling along a path you cannot point toward, yet always follow. Perhaps tonight, as you breathe softly, you are drifting along this hidden direction already. And perhaps that is exactly where calm, perspective, and quiet wonder begin to live. What shapes might you trace along this invisible path, if only you let yourself drift for a little while longer? Take a slow breath and let your mind drift across the space around you. Feel the familiar room, the gentle pull of gravity, the way light bends softly along every surface. Now, let your thoughts rise a little higher, to the quiet architecture of dimensions themselves. One more direction, one more truth. Each step along this gentle ladder reveals a new layer, a soft unfolding of the universe. A point becomes a line becomes a square becomes a cube, and just beyond the cube, the fourth direction waits, quiet, unseen, inviting curiosity rather than demanding comprehension. Imagine this as a rhythm, one step, one fold, one revelation. The universe is not harsh or confusing. It is patterned, symmetrical, unfolding like a petal in slow motion. Each dimension is a gentle extension of the last, a whisper of possibility that your mind can follow even when your eyes cannot. Think of a flower opening in the morning. Each petal unfolds carefully, revealing the next in a quiet, inevitable pattern. There is no rush, no fear. Each layer exists in harmony with the others, and the beauty of the whole is found in its delicate balance. In much the same way, the dimensions of reality reveal themselves to the patient mind. Each new direction is not a barrier, but an invitation, a chance to see the universe with one more angle, one more freedom, one more way to breathe in wonder. Even in 3 dimensions, the world hums with balance. Shapes, shadows, light, and space are all reflections of underlying patterns, hints of harmony that reach beyond our perception. And if a 4th direction exists, quiet, perpendicular, invisible, it is part of that same symmetry. It does not contradict the world we know. It extends it, folding our familiar reality gently into something larger, something waiting to be imagined. Notice how calm this thought is. The unknown is not frightening. It is not a void. It is the soft unfolding of possibility, a pattern that the mind can trace, step by step, like walking along a hidden path that curves just out of view. Each new dimension adds depth to your understanding, not weight to your worry. So let your mind linger here for a moment. Let the rhythm of one more direction, one more truth, carry you. Imagine the universe as a garden of unfolding petals, each dimension a soft layer of light and space. You cannot grasp it all at once, but that is not the purpose. The purpose is to feel the gentle symmetry, the quiet logic, the calm invitation to curiosity. And as you breathe, consider this: every step along this ladder of dimensions is not a wall, not a limit, not a test. It is a gentle opening, a whisper of the infinite, patiently waiting for your imagination to follow. The universe keeps unfolding, and tonight, in this soft moment of awareness, so can you. Imagine a village stretched across a flat, endless plain. The sun rises and falls along a horizon that is a single, unbroken line. The houses, the fields, the winding paths, all exist on this single surface. There is no height, no depth, only length and width. Every corner of life is painted across this two-dimensional canvas, complete and serene. In this world, the Flatlanders move forward and back, left and right. They build homes by laying shapes side by side. They plant gardens along long strips of earth, each blade of grass existing only in the plain beneath their feet. When children play, they chase each other in circles and lines, tumbling across the surface without ever thinking of anything above. The sky for them is not a vault overhead, but a soft stretch of color that ends at the horizon. It glows with warmth and light, but there is no concept of beyond it. Rain falls as a line, gently touching the ground. Shadows stretch sideways. There is order, simplicity, and calm in this completeness. The Flatlanders live fully, entirely content with the space they inhabit. And yet, though they are unaware, there is more. Beyond their surface, above, in a direction they cannot sense, possibilities exist they cannot imagine. Mountains could rise, spheres could hover, and wings could beat. But for the Flatlanders, these ideas are meaningless. Their world is whole in its flatness, perfect in its limitations. As you picture this, let yourself feel the quiet of that world. There is no fear of falling, no rush to climb, no longing for what cannot be seen. The horizon stretches endlessly, calm and inviting. Life is simple, but rich with motion, pattern, and purpose. And in this simplicity, there is beauty. To exist fully in 2 dimensions is to move without distraction, to trace paths with intention, to see every connection clearly. The Flatlanders do not question what lies above. They are not diminished by it. They are defined by the space they occupy. Now, As you breathe, let your thoughts linger on this world. Consider how life can be whole even when perception is limited. Imagine the quiet joy of living completely within a plane, every step known, every corner familiar. Their peace is gentle, almost hypnotic, and yet, just beyond their sight, the unknown waits silently. A space that stretches upward, untouched and unmeasured, hinting at possibilities they cannot perceive. It is not threatening. It is simply there. Perhaps, in that calm awareness, you can sense something similar in your own mind. The horizon of thought, the edges of understanding, quietly inviting your curiosity to wander. What would it feel like to discover, gently and without fear, the world above the flatness you already know? Now, imagine a quiet day in the Flatlanders' village. The sun glows along the horizon, shadows stretch sideways, and everything moves gently along the familiar plane. Suddenly, something appears, not gradually, not in the shapes they know, but as a fragment, a slice, a shimmering line. At first, the Flatlanders notice only a point of light, a tiny dot hovering on their surface. It grows and shifts. A curve appears, bends softly, then disappears. Another segment surfaces, only to vanish moments later. To them, it is both miraculous and confusing. They cannot comprehend the full form of what has arrived. The being moves in ways that defy every expectation, appearing where it should not, vanishing where it should be visible. This is the visitor from above, a creature not of their plane, but of a higher direction. They cannot grasp it as a whole, they can only see its effects, the fleeting cross-sections that brush past their world. Each moment is a fragment, a whisper of something greater, glimpsed briefly and gone. And yet even these fragments are enough to inspire wonder, awe, and curiosity. The Flatlanders might try to follow it. They might stretch their hands toward the shifting shapes. But every attempt is partial. They catch only slices, fleeting echoes of a whole they cannot perceive. What seems solid and stable for a moment bends and stretches the next. The visitor is not chaotic. It simply moves in directions they cannot sense, a gentle, continuous flow beyond their plane. Perhaps you can feel a little of what it is like. Imagine watching something unfold not all at once, but as a series of gentle glimpses, fragments of a story that never fully arrives. You sense a whole, you feel its rhythm, but the complete shape is beyond your grasp. There is no fear in this. There is only quiet fascination, a deepening curiosity that pulls at the edges of your understanding. And as the visitor drifts, the Flatlanders begin to imagine. They wonder what it must look like in full, what it must feel like in the direction they cannot turn toward. Their world remains calm and orderly, yet it now hums with a soft awareness of possibility, a hint of dimensions yet unseen. For us, too, this is a gentle lesson. A four-dimensional being passing through our space might not appear whole. We would see fragments, flashes of impossible forms, rotations that bend in ways our minds cannot fully follow. And just like the Flatlanders, we would feel a mixture of awe, curiosity, and peaceful wonder, tracing patterns we cannot completely understand. So let yourself linger on this thought. Imagine the visitor brushing past, softly folding through your perception. You catch glimpses of what lies beyond. Not fully, but enough to feel the quiet thrill of a higher world. And perhaps, in the spaces between those glimpses, your imagination begins to expand, opening gently toward the directions you cannot see. Imagine dipping your hand slowly into a calm pool of water. As it moves, the water parts around it, forming gentle waves and shifting reflections. You cannot see the hand beneath the surface all at once. You only perceive fragments, glimpses, pieces of its shape as it passes through. Now, carry this image into the world of dimensions. A four-dimensional being entering our three-dimensional space would be much like that hand moving through water. It would not appear fully, all at once. Instead, we would see only slices, brief, shimmering cross-sections, moments that hint at a larger, more complete form. These fragments would appear, change, and fade in patterns that seem impossible, yet quietly mesmerizing. Picture a sphere passing through a flat plane. At first, a point appears tiny and delicate. Slowly, it grows into a circle. Then, just as gently, it shrinks and vanishes. Each stage is complete in itself, yet part of a larger movement we cannot see. The full shape exists, but only in another dimension, just beyond the reach of our perception. The four-dimensional being in our world is not chaotic. Its presence flows like soft water, like a gentle wind brushing across the surface of a pond. Its cross-sections shimmer, fold, and shift. We perceive the change, the motion, the beauty, without ever holding the whole. It is not threatening. It is a quiet invitation to wonder. Imagine standing near this visitor, watching it glide. Each moment is like a stroke of light across the canvas of space. Edges curve in ways that seem impossible. Shapes grow from nothing and vanish back into nothing. And yet, if you breathe calmly, you feel a sense of connection, a recognition that the fragments are part of a whole, part of a pattern just beyond understanding. This is the subtle language of higher dimensions. Slices, cross-sections, glimpses, these are the words. Each fleeting moment communicates something of the being's full presence. We cannot read the whole story, but we can feel its rhythm, its movement, and its quiet elegance. And so, as you picture these fragments drifting past, let yourself float with them. Allow your mind to trace their gentle rotations, their soft unfolding, their serene passage. Do not seek to grasp or define. Simply notice, follow, and feel the calm curiosity they awaken. In the rhythm of these slices, there is a lesson for our own imagination. We need not see everything to understand the beauty of the whole. Sometimes, glimpses are enough. Sometimes wonder is best felt in fragments that tease the edges of perception. And perhaps, in the quiet space between each flicker, your mind begins to stretch, reaching softly toward the direction you cannot turn, sensing a world that exists beyond the horizon of your eyes. Now let your thoughts drift gently toward yourself. Imagine, for a moment, that you are one of the Flatlanders, moving along a familiar plane, never looking up, never imagining beyond the horizon. Your world is complete, full, and calm. Every path is known, every corner explored, every moment contained within the space you can sense. And yet, somewhere beyond, there is a direction you cannot turn toward. A higher space, unseen, untouched, whispering possibilities your eyes cannot follow. The Flatlanders might never reach it. They may never even guess it exists. But curiosity begins to stir. Perhaps they sense a ripple in the air, a flicker along the horizon, a shadow that cannot be explained. That curiosity is gentle, patient, inviting them to imagine without fear. In that sense, we are the Flatlanders. We live in 3 dimensions, unaware of what lies beyond. A 4th dimension may pass through us as a visitor passes through their plane, glimpsed only in fleeting slices. We cannot perceive it fully, yet we sense it in patterns, in strange movements, in moments that hint at something greater. And just as the Flatlanders' curiosity would guide them softly toward understanding, our own curiosity becomes a bridge to higher thought. It is the quiet reaching of the mind, the gentle stretching of imagination, the willingness to follow what cannot be fully seen. This is not a frantic search, but a meditative turning of attention toward wonder. Think of a child tracing shapes in the sand. Each finger stroke is precise, deliberate, yet open-ended. The child does not need to know the shape of the mountain. beyond the horizon to feel delight in drawing the curves before them. Curiosity itself is a way of stepping beyond the plane, of brushing lightly against the unknown. And so, as you sit here in quiet awareness, consider your own mind. The questions that drift through your thoughts, the sparks of wonder, the sudden flickers of imagination, are glimpses of a higher dimension of thought. They are your slices of something larger, something unfolding beyond the ordinary edges of perception. You are tracing shapes in the unseen space, learning the language of possibilities without needing to see the whole. There is no rush. There is no pressure to understand fully. The mirror of curiosity reflects gently, showing that even within limits, you can reach beyond. Even within 3 dimensions, the mind can touch 4. Even within the familiar, there is a space for awe. So let your thoughts rest there, at the edge of your perception, soft and patient. Let your curiosity fold outward, like a flower opening in quiet rhythm. And remember, the reaching itself is a form of knowing, a gentle acknowledgement that some horizons exist not to be conquered, but to be felt. And perhaps tonight, as you drift into calm, your imagination steps lightly into that higher space, carrying the quiet thrill of possibility with every breath. Picture a cube in your mind, 6 faces, 12 edges, corners sharp and familiar. It rests quietly, stable, complete. Now, imagine that cube beginning to fold, not along the surfaces you can touch, but through a direction your hands cannot follow. It moves softly, gracefully, like a piece of origami in invisible air, edges bending into shapes you cannot fully see. Feel each fold as a gentle whisper. One corner lifts, not up, not sideways, but somewhere beyond reach. A face stretches, folding inward and outward simultaneously, as if the cube is breathing. It is still a cube, yet more. Something larger, something subtly impossible emerges, the cube becoming its higher self. Notice how the shape changes without stress. There is no sharp fracture, no violent twist. Every movement is fluid, poetic. It flows like silk being unfurled, like a flower opening slowly to the morning light. Even though you cannot touch the new direction, you can sense it, a quiet vibration, a gentle expansion that hints at the fullness of space. The Tesseract, this folded cube, is not chaotic. It is a harmony of all edges, faces and corners, folding through itself in a way that cannot exist in 3 dimensions alone. Yet in your imagination, it can. You can see it partially, feel its rhythm, and let the mind trace its gentle rotations. Think of holding a paper cube in your hands and slowly opening it along hidden creases. Each fold reveals another layer, another possibility. The cube is no longer merely a container of space. It becomes a bridge to higher understanding, a quiet dance between the known and the unseen. Allow the image to linger. The Tesseract hums softly, an invisible geometry vibrating just beyond perception. You do not need to solve it. You do not need to grasp it entirely. The beauty is in the unfolding, in the soft awareness that something can exist beyond what you can see or touch. And as you breathe, imagine the cube folding gently through its invisible direction again and again. Each motion is calm, deliberate, and serene. It reminds you that even the most complex shapes can move gracefully, that even the unfamiliar can carry peace. So rest with this thought: the cube is still itself, yet quietly more. Its folds extend into a dimension you cannot point to, yet your imagination can trace. The Tesseract does not rush, it simply exists, softly, fully, inviting wonder without demand. What might it feel like to gently trace each fold, to follow the cube as it becomes something larger, a shape that whispers of worlds beyond sight? Imagine a cube turning, slowly, in the calm light of your mind. Its edges glide, its faces slide past one another, familiar yet shifting. Now imagine a rotation that cannot exist in 3 dimensions, a movement that folds inward and outward simultaneously, where inside and outside melt together like mist. This is the rotation of the impossible. It is not violent or chaotic. It flows with the rhythm of a dream, dissolving shapes you thought you knew and reforming them in quiet, mesmerizing patterns. Corners twist into faces, edges curve into ribbons of light, and yet the form remains whole, balanced, serene. Picture the motion gently. A cube begins its turn, but not just along its familiar axis. It spins along a hidden direction, a dimension you cannot reach with your eyes. Each rotation reveals glimpses of something larger. A line stretches into a plane folds into volume, and volume unfolds again into a form you can only sense. The motion is fluid, hypnotic, like water flowing around invisible stones. You may feel a soft tension, a subtle wonder. Your mind is tracing the impossible, following rhythms that cannot fully exist in your world. But there is calm here, too. The shapes do not fight you. They invite you to notice the elegance of movement, to feel the quiet harmony of geometry beyond the edges of sight. Consider a cloud drifting across the sky. It changes constantly, forming and dissolving shapes that tease the imagination. You cannot hold the cloud, yet you can watch its motion, feel its rhythm, and find serenity in its gentle flow. The rotation of a tesseract is like that, a cloud of geometry, moving through a space we cannot fully map, yet humming with beauty and calm. Notice how inside and outside intertwine. Boundaries dissolve. What was once solid becomes fluid, yet there is no chaos, only connection. Every part flows into the next. Every edge is a bridge, every face a petal unfolding in rhythm. The impossible rotation reminds you that reality is not limited to what you can touch or see. There are directions, movements, and harmonies that exist softly, quietly, beyond perception. And as you watch, you realize the peace in letting go. You do not need to understand. You do not need to capture the shape or follow every twist. You only need to notice, to breathe with the movement, to let the mind trace what it can and rest where it cannot. So drift with the rotation, gently, slowly. Let the impossible fold through your imagination like a quiet stream, carrying with it curiosity and calm. And perhaps in the spaces between the turns, you can feel the soft hum of higher dimensions, a serene motion that exists beyond sight, inviting only your wonder. Now, let your mind wander further, beyond the turning tesseract, into a world where shapes themselves seem to reach for something higher. Imagine crystals glinting softly in quiet light, their symmetrical patterns stretching endlessly, each facet reflecting a harmony you can almost feel but cannot fully see. Think of snowflakes falling gently in winter. Each one is unique, yet all follow a hidden order, a pattern that is at once delicate and precise. The geometry is not just a property of matter, it is a language of balance, a quiet song that the universe whispers to those who are willing to notice. And then imagine galaxies spiraling through space, arms curving in majestic arcs, stars tracing slow, elegant paths. The forms are immense, yet their structure carries the same echo of symmetry you saw in the Tesseract, the same harmony that guides crystals and snowflakes. There is a sense that the universe itself delights in shapes, in patterns, in connections that extend beyond the dimensions you know. Now, consider the fourth dimension as the universe's hidden pattern. Maker, it is not a place or a solid object. It is a principle, a gentle order, a quiet folding that shapes the world in ways our eyes cannot follow. It reaches into 3 dimensions and beyond, guiding rotations, folds, and harmonies with the soft precision of a master craftsman, unseen yet ever present. As you visualize this, feel your imagination stretching gently. Each pattern, each fold, each rotation is not demanding understanding. It only invites observation. You can trace the symmetry with your mind, following the invisible lines as they weave through space, without needing to touch or hold. There is calm in this noticing, a quiet pleasure in simply seeing with thought rather than eyes. Notice how the fourth dimension seems to connect everything. Crystals, snowflakes, galaxies, even your own imagination, all echo its rhythm. Patterns repeat, fold, and unfold in a way that is serene, elegant, and infinitely varied. You are part of this rhythm too, tracing it in thought, feeling the gentle guidance of higher harmony in every image your mind conjures. There is no need to understand fully. You do not need to measure, calculate, or capture these shapes. Simply allow them to exist in your awareness, softly, calmly, like a breeze that moves through a quiet garden. The fourth dimension hums quietly, weaving its patterns through the world you know and the world you imagine. So rest with this thought. The universe has shapes beyond shapes, forms beyond forms, patterns beyond comprehension. And in this unfolding, there is beauty, peace, and wonder. Let your mind trace the hidden symmetry, follow the gentle folding of space, and feel the quiet hum of the universe's secret geometry. And as you breathe, imagine these higher patterns brushing softly against your thoughts, opening your mind to the calm, infinite dance of forms beyond sight. Now, gently release the swirling shapes, the turning tesseract, the hidden patterns of galaxies and snowflakes. Let them rest in your mind like leaves floating on a still pond. You do not need to grasp them. You do not need to solve them. The fourth dimension is not a puzzle to be cracked. It is a gentle hum, a quiet presence that can exist in your imagination without demand. Feel the calm that comes from letting go of needing to understand. You have traced the cube folding, felt the impossible rotation, glimpsed the hidden symmetry. Each step was a soft invitation, a breath of wonder. And now, in the pause, there is peace. There is a place to rest in the knowing that some things are not meant to be fully seen. They are meant to be felt. Imagine holding a delicate shape in your hands, not to bend it, measure it, or control it, but simply to notice its form, its balance, its quiet beauty. This is how comprehension feels when it is gentle, not grasping. The mind rests in the awareness of possibility, in the soft recognition that the universe can hold dimensions beyond sight, rotations beyond logic, patterns beyond calculation. You do not need to understand the Tesseract fully to feel its elegance. You do not need to map every hidden axis to sense the rhythm of its movement. Simply imagining its folds, letting its impossible rotations brush against your thoughts, is enough. Each image, each thought, is a step along a quiet path of curiosity and wonder. Notice the serenity in not knowing. Each unanswered question becomes a soft space in your mind, a place for imagination to drift. You are not frustrated by mystery, you are comforted by it. The fourth dimension hums quietly, like a gentle wind across the surface of your awareness, shaping nothing yet everything, suggesting more without imposing. Allow this calm to expand slowly. It touches every thought, every breath, every quiet corner of your mind. The mind can fold gently, rotate softly, and perceive hints of higher dimensions, even while the body rests in three. The beauty is not in mastery, but in presence. Not in comprehension, but in gentle noticing. And as you breathe, let yourself drift with this understanding. The fourth dimension is not a riddle, a burden, or a challenge. It is a quiet companion, a soft hum that can exist alongside thought and imagination, curiosity and calm. It is an open horizon, a gentle fold in the fabric of possibility, always present, never demanding. So rest here, in the quiet of not knowing. Let the shapes, the folds, and the hidden rhythms settle in your mind. Let the universe hum softly, and know that calm, curiosity, and wonder are enough to touch the edges of dimensions beyond sight. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the space around you. Not with your hands, not with your eyes, but with the mind itself. Notice the shapes, the distances, the gentle folds of the room you inhabit. Even without sight, the mind can trace space. Create a quiet theater where forms exist silently, perfectly, and entirely. Imagine a chair. You cannot see it, yet you know its edges, its height, its weight in thought. You know where it stands in relation to the table, the window, the floor beneath your feet. Your mind builds it with care, tracing its corners, its lines, its angles. The shape is real in your awareness, even though no light has touched your eyes. Now extend this thought. Imagine the world itself as a stage of silent forms. The trees along a distant path, the curve of a hill, the stretch of a river, all exist within your inner vision. You can feel depth, even without depth to touch. You can sense distance, even without measuring it. The mind is a mapmaker, a quiet artist, drawing forms in a space that is unseen yet fully present. And in this silent space, you can begin to imagine what it would be like to perceive more. Another direction, another layer of existence. Perhaps a being passes through, a tesseract unfolding, a hidden rotation brushing against the edges of your perception. You cannot see it fully, but the mind can sense its presence, its rhythm, its flow. Even in darkness, even in stillness, awareness can reach beyond the visible. Close your eyes a little tighter and imagine floating through this space. The forms shift gently in your imagination. Shadows bend softly. Distances expand and contract. You move not by stepping but by thought, tracing curves and edges with a quiet curiosity. Your mind becomes a lens, a telescope, a space of quiet geometry, exploring silently, without rush, without effort. And notice the calm that comes from this inner sight. You do not need eyes to perceive the beauty of forms. You do not need light to feel space. The mind itself creates a theater where shapes exist softly, elegantly, in harmony. Each imagined object, each traced line, is a meditation, a gentle unfolding of awareness, a practice in quiet attention and wonder. In this way, seeing without sight becomes a form of understanding. You realize that perception is not limited to what the eyes can touch. The mind can build, trace, rotate, and fold. It can sense dimensions beyond three. It can feel depth beyond depth, direction beyond direction, presence beyond presence. So rest in this inner vision. Let the mind draw the forms it needs. Let it sense the space around you. Let it explore the quiet edges of imagination. Even without sight, the world can exist fully, beautifully, and peacefully in your awareness. Now, turn your attention inward, to the quiet, intricate landscape of your own mind. Imagine your neurons as explorers, each one tracing paths through an unseen territory, mapping connections, and building a gentle internal map of the world. They do not move in haste. They drift, gently, discovering spaces, tracing edges, marking distances, all without needing to see with eyes. Consider how the mind knows where you are in a room, even with your eyes closed. You sense the chair nearby, the table ahead, the walls stretching around you. This is no magic. It is the brain quietly charting space, layering memory, sensation, and imagination. Every movement you make is guided by this internal map, every breath harmonized with an awareness you hardly notice. Now, expand this thought. Imagine neurons mapping not only the room you inhabit, but the entire three-dimensional space, the stretch of your neighborhood, the patterns of streets, the gentle curves of hills. Each mental pathway is like a string tracing invisible lines through the air, creating a silent, living map that exists entirely within your mind. And within this mapping, there is room for imagination. The brain does not stop at recording what is. It can explore what could be. It can bend space, fold edges, trace shapes that do not yet exist. It can imagine a fourth dimension, a hidden direction, and sketch its possible contours in thought. Each neuron participates quietly, rhythmically, in this unfolding of possibility. Imagine a neuron sending a signal, lighting up a path in your mind. Another neuron follows, creating a parallel trace. Slowly, a network of thought emerges, a lattice of awareness connecting what is seen, what is felt, and what is imagined. This lattice is your brain's map, a space where dimensions coexist softly, where reality and possibility overlap, where imagination reaches outward without pressure or strain. Pressure or strain. In this silent theater, perception is not just light on the eyes. It is the mind constructing, shaping, folding space with careful attention. It is an orchestra of thought, each neuron playing its note, each connection adding to the harmony of awareness. Through this map, you can sense distance, depth, and direction, even without moving. You can explore, trace, and fold space in thought, moving gently through a world built by imagination. So as you rest, consider the quiet artistry of your own mind. Let the neurons trace their paths. Let the maps form. Allow yourself to drift along the invisible lines, exploring spaces beyond sight, beyond immediate perception, beyond the limits of 3 dimensions. And in this awareness, know that you are already a cartographer of possibility, mapping what can be as easily as what is. Your mind is a telescope, a bridge, a space where dimensions unfold softly, and curiosity moves freely without haste. As you settle deeper into quiet awareness, let your thoughts drift towards sleep. Notice how, in dreams, the mind moves effortlessly through space and time, folding moments, stretching scenes, and connecting places in ways that defy waking logic. Dreams are gentle flights into dimensions beyond 3, where perception flows like water and reality bends softly under imagination. Imagine a simple act in a dream: walking down a hallway, turning a corner, and finding a door that was not there before. Perhaps you step through it, and suddenly you are in a room familiar and strange at the same time. Walls bend gently, light shifts in impossible ways, and you feel fully present, fully at ease, even as the world stretches beyond the ordinary. This is a taste of 4-dimensional thinking, a soft tracing of a hidden direction, where the mind moves freely along axes we cannot consciously follow. In dreams, time itself becomes pliable. Moments fold upon one another like origami, overlapping, reflecting, and stretching. Yesterday's memory brushes softly against tomorrow's possibility. You experience entire narratives in the space of minutes, yet it feels natural, serene, and complete. The 4th dimension whispers here, in the quiet folds of perception, a direction we inhabit without realizing. Picture this gentle folding as a dance. One movement flows into another, edges dissolve and reform, and you glide effortlessly between moments and places. Nothing needs to be calculated, nothing forced. Each shift is a quiet expansion of awareness, a soft stretching of the mind into possibilities that exist beyond waking perception. The shapes, spaces, and movements are ephemeral, yet they leave a sense of harmony, a quiet recognition that reality is more fluid, more connected, more wondrous than the 3-dimensional world alone can hold. Notice the calm curiosity this brings. In dreams, we are already travelers of the hidden dimensions. We fold through time as easily as space, trace patterns that do not exist in waking life, and inhabit a world where inside and outside, near and far, begin to blur. Each dream is a silent experiment in 4-dimensional awareness, an invitation to explore, to notice, and to rest within the flexibility of perception. As you lie here, breathing slowly, let this awareness settle softly. You may begin to sense the gentle folding of moments in your own mind, the quiet expansion of space as your imagination reaches beyond the edges of 3 dimensions. There is no rush, no pressure, only the serene rhythm of thought moving freely, exploring possibilities and tracing patterns beyond sight. And so, in the quiet of sleep, allow yourself to drift along these hidden directions. Let moments fold like origami in your imagination. Let time curve softly around you. In this gentle movement, you are already brushing against the 4th dimension, a space of quiet wonder, calm exploration, and effortless curiosity. Now, let your awareness turn inward, as if your mind itself is a telescope, quietly peering into hidden dimensions. Close your eyes and imagine scanning not the world outside, but the vast landscapes of thought, memory, and imagination. Here, in this internal space, the mind can fold, rotate, and stretch in ways the body cannot, tracing patterns that echo the 4th dimension. Picture a gentle light inside your head, spreading slowly, illuminating corners of your consciousness you rarely notice. Each neuron, each thought, becomes a star in a quiet inner galaxy, shimmering with possibility. You are not searching, you are noticing. The telescope of the mind moves softly, focusing, widening, tracing the edges of ideas that fold inward and outward, revealing shapes and rhythms that are real only in this private space of awareness. In this inner observation, the 4th dimension may already live. It is not a distant place to reach or a complex concept to solve. It is a gentle direction, a quiet folding of perception within your own mind. You can trace its contours with thought, follow its curves with curiosity, and feel the subtle hum of higher awareness without leaving the calm stillness of your body. Imagine observing a shape that cannot fully exist in 3 dimensions, a tesseract folding and unfolding, rotating along directions your eyes cannot follow. Now, realize that this shape, this movement, can exist entirely within your inner vision. You can explore it calmly, without effort, without urgency, simply by letting your imagination trace the forms. Each fold, each rotation, each fleeting glimpse becomes a meditation, a rhythm of curiosity and serenity. The mind's inner telescope can fold time as easily as space. Moments trace themselves like lines in sand, overlapping, reflecting, and extending in directions you cannot point to. Memory, anticipation, and imagination intertwine gently, and you move along these paths with soft awareness, brushing against possibilities that feel both distant and intimately close. Let this awareness deepen. There is a sense of quiet power in realizing that the 4th dimension is not only there, but also within you. Your mind folded within your 3-dimensional body already traces hidden directions, explores invisible axes, and perceives patterns that cannot be seen with the eyes alone. You are, in a sense, a 4-dimensional observer, quietly charting inner space while the world outside rests. As you breathe, allow the telescope to widen, to scan softly, to drift gently over the landscape of your mind. Notice shapes, movements, and harmonies. Follow them without expectation. Rest in the calm knowing that awareness itself can fold, trace, and explore dimensions beyond the ordinary. And so, in this quiet inner vision, let the 4th dimension hum softly within you. It is not something to conquer, but to notice, to feel, to let unfold. Your mind is already a vessel of higher perception, and with each breath, each gentle thought, it reaches outward and inward simultaneously, exploring the hidden rhythms of imagination and consciousness. Close your eyes and imagine a river, broad and slow, carrying you gently along its surface. The water is calm, not rushing, yet it moves with purpose. A quiet, unending flow. You float without effort, letting the current guide you, feeling the soft resistance against your skin, the gentle pressure that reminds you of movement. This river is time, a current that surrounds you, touches you, and flows through you, familiar yet infinitely mysterious. Notice how the river moves. Some stretches are smooth, stretching lazily beneath the sky. Some bends curve subtly, carrying you around unseen corners. The river does not demand. It does not pull harshly. It simply moves, and you, in your stillness, move with it. You are a passenger, yet part of its flow, drifting peacefully in a path you cannot fully see. The water reflects the light above, soft glimmers dancing like thoughts across the surface, reminding you that time glimmers, changes, and yet remains continuous. Feel how your mind softens as you float. The current takes away the urge to control or to chase, leaving only awareness, presence, and gentle curiosity. Each ripple is a moment, each soft eddy a memory or anticipation. You notice the way the river folds over itself, circling stones, brushing over reeds, and widening into open plains. It is effortless, unhurried, yet full of purpose, carrying everything within it, moments, possibilities, echoes of what has passed, hints of what is yet to come. As you drift, notice the way the river carries reflections. Clouds stretch across the mirrored surface, trees bend into themselves, and the sky's light shimmers in subtle gradients. Time, like the river, holds reflections of past and future in its gentle sway. The river is infinite, yet it feels immediate, surrounding you completely. There is calm in knowing you are part of it, and yet the river flows as if on its own, a reminder that time is both intimate and vast. Let your awareness sink into this flowing rhythm. You do not need to fight. You do not need to measure, to hurry, to grasp. Each moment drifts by like a small leaf on the water, touched by sunlight, moved by the unseen current. You are neither lost nor separate. You are the river, the current, and the quiet observer, all at once. Time moves gently through you, a companion rather than a master. And as you float in this slow, endless current, let yourself feel the quiet awe of being carried. The river does not hurry. It does not resist. It simply flows. You drift, you notice, you exist in harmony with its motion. The river is not outside you. It is part of your own breathing, your own pulse, your own sense of being. And in this gentle surrender, you can feel time flowing, wrapping, holding, and resting with you in perfect calm. Now, picture the world around you as a vast, quiet studio, and time as the gentle sculptor, shaping everything in slow, deliberate motion. Stars ignite in distant corners of the universe, sending light across the darkness like brushstrokes on a cosmic canvas. Mountains rise imperceptibly, shaped by the soft hand of years. Flowers unfurl their petals at dawn, tiny miracles of transformation. Each second a subtle motion that reshapes the familiar into something new. Notice how even the smallest things are touched by this sculptor. A leaf trembling in a breeze folds and unfolds repeatedly, shaped by air, light, and gravity. A river curves through the land, carving soft lines over stones and earth. Time does not hurry, does not demand, yet with each passing instant, change accumulates. The universe is not static. It breathes, folds, and shifts, and you are part of this quiet artistry, carried along in the flow of gentle transformation. Consider your own body, mind, and thoughts. Every heartbeat, every breath, every fleeting thought is shaped by time. You grow, you adapt, you shift in ways so subtle that most go unnoticed. And yet, when viewed as a whole, these tiny changes form patterns, rhythms, and arcs of quiet beauty. The sculptor works constantly, but its touch is soft, pervasive, and harmonious. There is no rush, only a gentle persistence, shaping life with care and patience. Think of the universe on a grander scale. Galaxies swirl and spiral over Yuns, colliding, merging, separating. Clouds of gas condense into new stars, while others fade silently into darkness. Even light itself journeys across vast distances, subtly bending, stretching, and curving in response to gravity's soft embrace. Time is the quiet artist behind all of this, the unseen hand that allows the cosmos to breathe, evolve, and dance. And notice how this understanding brings calm. Change is not chaotic. It is a gentle, deliberate unfolding. You do not need to control it or resist it. Every second, every moment, every subtle shift is part of the same harmonious rhythm. The universe, in all its complexity, is reshaped continuously, but the process is not violent, only patient, steady, and infinitely serene. Now, bring your awareness to the way this sculptor touches your inner world. Thoughts, memories, feelings, all are shaped by time's quiet hand. Moments of joy and sorrow blend into one another, creating a mosaic of experience that forms who you are. The sculptor moves everywhere at once, but it does so softly, leaving you space to breathe, to rest, to observe without pressure. So rest here, in the calm certainty of transformation. Each second is a brushstroke, each breath a fold of clay, each thought a ripple in a gentle current. You are both the observer and the observed, the sculptor and the sculpture, held in the quiet, infinite artistry of time. Let yourself float in its rhythm, carried gently by the ever-present hands that shape all things with patience, care, and beauty. Now, imagine a mind that moves differently through time, a presence that sees not just one moment, but the entirety of a life at once. Birth and growth, joy and sorrow, beginnings and endings, all stretched out like a single luminous thread, softly glowing, perfectly whole. To such an observer, time does not flow. It simply exists, every instant visible, every choice and every heartbeat present simultaneously. Picture your own life as this observer might see it. Childhood memories, bright and tender, shimmer alongside moments from yesterday and gentle hints of tomorrow. You are not fragmented by the hours or days. You are a continuous form, a flowing line of experiences glowing quietly, softly, without urgency. There is no rushing, no worry, only the serene presence of all moments being, entirely together. Notice the subtle beauty in this perspective. Mistakes do not sting, regrets do not linger. Each moment is a thread woven into a larger tapestry, necessary, luminous, and connected. Time's usual pressure dissolves, leaving only understanding. From this vantage, life is not a series of events to control or fear, but a single sculpture, unfolding in its own rhythm, complete and infinite in scope. Now, consider how this might feel. A 4D mind, seeing your life as a whole, might recognize patterns invisible to you, a quiet symmetry in your choices, a gentle repetition of themes, a harmony that exists beyond the eye of linear observation. There is a calm in knowing that even what seems chaotic in the moment fits within a larger, coherent form. The observer sees the unfolding with tenderness, noticing the beauty in what you may overlook. And yet, even as this awareness stretches across every instant, it does not overwhelm. Instead, it offers quiet companionship. Imagine standing beside this observer, feeling their calm, their understanding, their patient gaze tracing the curves of your life. There is no judgment, only recognition. The entirety of your being, in all its complexity, is acknowledged with serene acceptance. Think also of how this perspective softens your own sense of time. You are free from the pressure to do, to rush, to accomplish. Each moment is already complete, a luminous part of a greater whole. You can rest in the quiet rhythm of your own unfolding, knowing that every breath, every thought, every heartbeat is held within a vast, gentle awareness. So, as you imagine this timeless observer, Allow yourself to feel the serenity of being fully known, fully present, and fully connected. You are not trapped in the flow of seconds. You are a living thread in the fabric of life, luminous, whole, and harmoniously interwoven with all that has been and all that will be. Time itself becomes a gentle companion, a quiet presence that carries you, cradles you, and allows you to rest within its infinite embrace. Now, let yourself settle fully into the quiet presence of time, not as something to chase or measure, but as a gentle river in which you can rest. Each moment arrives softly, touches you lightly, and flows onward. You do not need to push, pull, or control it. You simply float, carried by the rhythm of existence, aware of the calm that comes from surrendering to the flow. Imagine the seconds as soft currents beneath your body, each one wrapping around you, holding you, moving with quiet persistence. There is no urgency here, no pressure. Even the smallest tick of a heartbeat becomes a ripple of comfort, a reminder that you are part of a continuous unfolding. Past and future blend into a gentle continuum, and you exist fully, serenely, in this ever-present now. Notice the beauty of impermanence. Leaves fall softly from trees, clouds drift slowly across the sky, the light shifts gradually as the day unfolds. Each change is subtle, yet complete. Nothing is hurried, nothing is lost. Time does not demand, it simply moves, and you in your stillness move with it. The flow is not something outside you. It is your own breath, your own pulse, your own gentle awareness tracing the curve of existence. Let yourself imagine your life not as a series of tasks or milestones, but as a river you are swimming in with ease. Moments of joy, of sorrow, of curiosity and calm, all ripple past like gentle waves. You are not carried away from yourself. You are part of the flow, inseparable from the rhythm of time. Each second is a soft brushstroke on the canvas of your being, each breath a fold in the river, shaping and guiding you with quiet intention. Consider the peaceful paradox. Being fully present means you are neither trapped in the past nor anxious about the future. You are exactly where dimensions meet, where time flows, and yet you are not lost. You are aware, luminous, and calm. You are both observer and participant, cradled in the gentle embrace of a river that stretches infinitely forward and backward, carrying everything with quiet care. Feel the weight of worry dissolve. The river does not hurry, it does not demand. It simply flows, and so can you. You are not separate from time, nor is time a master over you. You are a part of it, briefly aware of its soft, eternal movement. And in this awareness, there is nothing to solve, nothing to conquer, only the quiet joy of being, exactly where you are, exactly as you are, resting in the flow. Let this knowledge settle like a soft light in your mind. You are the river, the current, the gentle observer, and the quiet ripple of time itself. Let yourself drift, carried, held, and soothed, knowing that being here, in this moment, is being in perfect harmony with the infinite, unfolding rhythm of the universe. Now, imagine stepping back, not from the world outside, but from the flow of your own life, as if your awareness could expand to see the entire tapestry of existence at once. Picture a 4D being looking down upon our world. To them, each life, each movement, each subtle interaction glows like a ribbon of light, weaving through space and time with serene continuity. They do not see only a moment or a scene. They see all at once, the entirety of each existence shimmering together, quietly luminous. Think of your own life as one of these ribbons. Birth, growth, small choices, fleeting thoughts, they are all visible in a single glance, flowing softly together in a continuous line. There is no rush, no fragmentation, no anxiety over missing a moment. Each instant exists fully, complete in its presence, and together they form a gentle, radiant arc that stretches across the panorama of being. Notice how other lives intertwine in this view. People you have met, places you have visited, fleeting connections, all form threads in the same vast weave. A smile shared long ago, a soft word spoken quietly, a thought you never expressed. Each glimmers faintly, softly, within the panorama. Nothing is lost, nothing is outside the gentle sweep of awareness. Everything moves, flows, and exists harmoniously, like sunlight passing through a prism, scattering in colors that are familiar yet indescribably new. Imagine this panorama unfolding like a slow, cinematic motion. The world below glimmers, not in stark detail, but in the soft, coherent rhythm of movement. Trees sway, rivers curve, people live and rest, all traced as luminous threads in a tranquil, interwoven pattern. The 4D observer sees the whole without judgment, without hurry, simply a serene awareness of patterns, connections, and the quiet beauty of existence. Now, feel your own life within this view. It is both small and immense, fleeting and eternal. You are a ribbon among ribbons, a single gentle glow in the vast tapestry, perfectly aligned in harmony with the flows around you. There is no pressure to act, to achieve, to grasp. You exist within this panorama fully, simply, quietly, your presence a soft, continuous note in the symphony of being. And as you rest in this awareness, consider the awe it brings. The world is not separate from you, nor are you apart from it. Every movement, every breath, every heartbeat contributes to the flowing pattern of the whole. To see it from above is to notice that each life, each ribbon, is luminous, interconnected, and tenderly held within the infinite panorama of existence. Allow your mind to linger here, softly, without strain. Let the ribbons weave gently in your imagination, their glow illuminating the quiet corridors of thought. In this vision, there is nothing to fear, nothing to chase, only the gentle, eternal harmony of life observed, tenderly and fully, from a perspective that is vast, calm, and deeply reassuring. Now, imagine the 4D being observing our world, not with cold curiosity, but with quiet affection. Their view is panoramic, yet it is tender, gentle, and compassionate. They see our lives like glowing threads, flickering softly through time, each moment delicate and precious. To them, our fleeting actions are not trivial. They are beautiful expressions of existence, like the brief flutter of a butterfly's wings or the quiet bloom of a single flower. Picture how they might watch a life unfold. Childhood laughter ripples softly, friendships form and fade like glimmers of light, and small acts of kindness scatter across the world like petals on a gentle breeze. The 4D observer does not judge or correct. They do not intervene. They simply notice, tenderly and fully, the patterns of growth, joy, and struggle that make each existence unique. Their vision encompasses the entire span of life, yet it is neither overwhelming nor distant. It is soft, intimate, and caring. Consider how this tender distance feels. From our limited perspective, the universe may seem vast, indifferent, or even harsh. Yet from the 4D view, each moment is part of a flowing harmony. Every heartbeat, every choice, every quiet thought is luminous, held within a gentle embrace of understanding. Nothing is lost, nothing is wasted, and nothing is meaningless. Even the smallest gestures radiate significance, contributing to a larger rhythm that moves with serenity and care. Imagine yourself as one of these threads. The observer sees your life not as a fleeting accident, but as a coherent, radiant path shaped by your decisions, thoughts, and feelings. They sense the beauty in your struggles and the grace in your rest. You are not insignificant. You are a luminous note in a vast, harmonious symphony. The tenderness of their gaze reminds you that even in the moments you may feel unseen, you are fully acknowledged, fully present, fully meaningful. Now, allow your mind to absorb the subtle emotion of this distance. It is not cold or detached, but protective and calm. The observer's perspective is vast, yet it conveys warmth, a quiet empathy that reaches across dimensions. You may begin to feel the soft reassurance that exists beyond our ordinary view that your life, your choices, your very being are part of a whole that is tender, harmonious, and infinitely gentle. Let yourself rest in this feeling, allowing the glow of understanding and care to settle softly in your mind. The 4D being watches without interference, yet their presence offers comfort. In this tender distance, there is no fear, no anxiety, no need for struggle. Only the quiet recognition that you, like every other flicker of life, are luminous, beautiful, and part of a rhythm far greater than the confines of ordinary perception. And so, in the calm of this awareness, feel a gentle serenity. The universe is not indifferent, it is attentive, nurturing, and quietly affectionate. The fourth dimension may be beyond our sight, but its warmth and care ripple into the edges of our experience, reminding us that even from afar, life is held with infinite tenderness. Now, imagine a bridge of awareness stretching between our world and the unseen fourth dimension. Words, voices, or gestures as we know them cannot cross this expanse. Yet some quiet, subtle forms of connection might, perhaps intuition, a sudden thought, or a flash of inspiration is a faint ripple from a higher perspective. These gentle echoes are not loud or demanding, they are whispers, soft nudges that invite attention and curiosity. Picture a sudden insight, like the solution to a problem appearing unexpectedly, or a feeling of déjà vu, as if you've glimpsed something before. These moments may be fleeting, subtle, yet profound. They hint at a presence that watches tenderly, not to control, but to offer guidance, perspective, or simply acknowledgement. The communication is not literal. It is a quiet resonance, a gentle vibration that passes through the mind, as light filters through a thin veil. Imagine now the impossibility and beauty of such contact. A 4D being cannot hand you a message in words, and you cannot hand one back. Yet meaning can move differently, like currents in the air or ripples across water. One small thought can carry profound understanding. One flash of curiosity can echo across dimensions. It is not forceful or insistent. It is patient, subtle, and graceful, waiting for attention to awaken its gentle significance. Consider inspiration as a form of this communication. A melody you hear suddenly, a story that forms effortlessly in your mind, or a creative idea that arrives unbidden. All may be small glimpses of a higher gaze, a tender acknowledgement from a perspective that sees all threads of life simultaneously. These moments do not demand, yet they awaken curiosity and reflection. They remind you that there may be more to reality than meets the eye, and that the mind itself is capable of sensing subtle patterns beyond ordinary perception. Notice how comforting this is. Even without understanding or controlling these echoes, there is a quiet reassurance in imagining that life is not entirely separate from unseen layers of existence. The universe may contain awareness that observes, resonates, and softly interacts without pressure or expectation. It is a gentle presence, like sunlight filtering through leaves, illuminating paths quietly, tenderly, without forcing movement. And now, allow your mind to rest in the wonder of possibility. You do not need to grasp or solve this communication. Its beauty lies in its subtlety, its mystery, and its quiet presence. Each intuitive nudge, each fleeting insight is a reminder that connections exist beyond the surface, that meaning can ripple softly between dimensions, and that life is alive with possibilities we may sense, but never fully contain. As you breathe, feel the calm that comes from recognizing these quiet threads. The fourth dimension may be unreachable by ordinary perception, yet its gentle echoes touch your life, stirring curiosity, insight, and awe. And in this realization, you can rest, observing without effort, aware of a tender, silent communication that hums softly through the fabric of existence, connecting you to something vast, calm, and profoundly alive. Now, gently turn your attention to the quiet edges of perception, to the spaces that cannot be seen, measured, or touched. Imagine a mirror that reflects not your face, but your curiosity, your wonder, your longing to know more. This mirror does not judge, it does not demand. It simply shows what is always present, the endless invitation to explore, to imagine, to reach beyond what is visible. Consider how the unknown can feel. Often, we might sense fear, hesitation, or a need for certainty. But here, in the soft light of thought, the unknown is not a wall. It is a doorway, a quiet space that encourages gentle reflection. The fourth dimension, like this mirror, does not confront us with impossibility. It offers glimpses, fleeting shadows, and faint echoes, each one an invitation to wonder. You may never fully see it, and yet the act of curiosity itself is enough to touch its presence. Imagine the life of a Flatlander, living entirely in 2 dimensions, never able to perceive height, yet capable of noticing the subtle shifts in their plane. They might glimpse a shadow of something beyond, a circle appearing where no circle should be, and feel awe, confusion, or joy. In the same way, we are Flatlanders in our 3-dimensional world, glimpsing hints of higher spaces. The mirror of mystery reflects back our curiosity, reminding us that wonder itself is a form of reaching upward, a soft touch on the veil between known and unknown. Now, breathe slowly and let the mind linger on this gentle paradox. Not knowing is not weakness. Not seeing is not absence. The edges of comprehension are spaces of possibility, quiet areas where imagination and perception meet. In these spaces, the fourth dimension hums softly, not as a challenge, but as a companion, guiding awareness with subtlety, care, and infinite patience. Each moment of reflection is a ripple across the surface of mystery, a soft movement that deepens understanding without demanding certainty. Picture the mirror again. It reflects more than sight. It reflects thought, emotion, and curiosity. When you peer into it, you see not only what you know, but what you are capable of imagining. The unknown becomes a gentle landscape to explore, rather than a barrier to fear. There is calm in this awareness, a sense that everything unseen is not threatening, but tenderly present, waiting for the mind to approach it with gentle attention. And so, rest here in the quiet mirror of mystery. Let the edges of your understanding soften, and let curiosity drift freely across the surface. You do not need to solve or fully grasp what lies beyond. The act of wonder itself is the bridge. The fourth dimension may remain hidden, but your awareness, your reflection, and your imagination are enough to touch it lightly, beautifully, and completely. In this space, there is nothing to fear, only calm, expansive awe, a quiet invitation to continue, gently, ever onward into the soft folds of reality yet unseen. Now imagine the universe as a vast, gentle fabric, stretched and folded across dimensions. Each star, each planet, each drifting cloud of cosmic dust rests upon this soft weave. The fourth dimension is not somewhere far away. It is the thread that holds everything together, quiet and unseen, yet present in every curve, every fold, every subtle motion. It is the gentle warp in the tapestry, a foundation that cradles all that exists. Picture the way a blanket drapes over your shoulders, soft and warm. You cannot see each thread individually, but you feel the comfort it brings, the support it offers. Space and time are woven the same way. We move, breathe, and live on the surface of this fabric, often unaware of the subtle curvatures beneath. Gravity, the silent pull of planets and stars, is simply the fabric bending, stretching, guiding motion with a tender, invisible hand. You float within this weave, embraced by its gentle rhythm. Consider how each motion interacts with this tapestry. Light curves as it travels, tracing the hidden folds. A planet glides in its orbit, tracing a path dictated not by force alone, but by the gentle guidance of the underlying fabric. Even the seemingly empty voids of space are touched, shaped, and held in quiet harmony. Time itself is part of this weave, a soft strand that allows the universe to breathe, unfold, and exist as a continuous, serene whole. Now, let your mind drift to your own life. Every heartbeat, every thought, every breath moves along this fabric, creating small ripples, subtle bends, gentle patterns. You are not separate from it. You are an integral note in the quiet symphony of space and time. Each movement you make, each choice you take, flows along the threads, contributing to the unfolding of this infinite tapestry. There is calm in knowing that you are supported, cradled, and connected in a way that is soft, profound, and unhurried. Picture the vastness of the cosmos stretching outward, stars forming and fading, galaxies spinning slowly. And yet this vastness is woven with care. The fourth dimension is the hidden loom, steady, patient, and infinitely precise, creating a structure that allows all things to exist in harmony. It is not rigid or harsh. It bends, flows, and folds, guiding without force, holding without pressure. You, in turn, float within it, a silent participant in the eternal weaving. And now, rest in this awareness. Feel the calm understanding that the universe is not chaotic or indifferent. It is a gentle fabric, soft and embracing, flowing through every moment, every motion, and every heartbeat. The fourth dimension is not elsewhere. It is here, beneath and around you, quietly holding the world, the stars, and your own existence in perfect, serene harmony. Let yourself drift in this soft weave, feeling the universe's gentle embrace and resting in the profound, silent lullaby of space woven with time. Now, imagine that the universe is not a flat expanse, but a gentle rolling landscape. Space bends and curves, like hills under the soft glow of a sunset. Each rise and dip a quiet guidance, not a barrier. Gravity, that subtle pull we feel but cannot see, is simply the fabric of existence, curving beneath the weight of stars and planets. Every motion, every path, every orbit follows these gentle folds, moving with calm inevitability through the soft hills of reality. Picture a beam of light traveling across this landscape. It does not move in a rigid straight line. It flows, bending softly as if tracing invisible valleys and peaks. Even empty space is alive with this curvature, an elegant guidance system that allows all matter to glide, turn, and settle with quiet grace. Nothing is forced. Nothing is abrupt. Every movement, from the tiniest particle to the largest galaxy, drifts along these curves, perfectly in rhythm with the hidden shape of existence. Now, bring your mind closer to your own experience. Your footsteps, your breath, your thoughts, they too follow invisible curves. You may not notice them, yet every choice, every movement, every intention traces a path shaped by the subtle geometry of life. The universe is not indifferent. It bends gently, cradles softly, and allows each being to move within its quiet guidance. There is serenity in this, a calm reassurance that you are not adrift, but gently steered along paths that flow naturally through existence. Imagine floating above the Earth, watching planets orbit in soft spirals, stars tracing arcs of light across the night sky. Each trajectory is part of a vast, harmonious curvature, elegant and unhurried. There is no chaos here, only rhythm and grace. The curves of reality are not rules to resist, but gentle suggestions, subtle slopes that guide movement without pressure or demand. Everything unfolds in its perfect time, each orbit, each pulse, each ripple aligned in serene harmony. Consider, too, that these curves are not rigid or fixed. They bend further, twist, and flow as if the universe itself is breathing. Space and time are alive in their rhythm, responding to the presence of mass, energy, and thought in quiet, tender ways. Even the smallest ripple of awareness contributes, subtly shaping the patterns of existence. The curves are infinite, yet calm, allowing every being to move with freedom while held within a delicate, invisible embrace. Now, rest in this understanding. Let the mind imagine hills of space rising and falling softly beneath you, carrying planets, stars, and yourself with gentle care. The curvature of reality is not to fear or solve, but to flow within, to drift along, to feel the quiet harmony that underlies all things. In this awareness, you are cradled, guided, and soothed. Each breath aligns with the gentle folds, each thought moves along the curves, and your entire being rests within the soft, infinite geometry of the universe, calm, safe, and deeply at ease. Now imagine that the universe is not just a single layer of reality, but a series of quiet, overlapping layers, each one vibrating softly, unseen yet present. These layers are not crowded or chaotic. They hum in harmony, like strings in a gentle symphony, each one contributing to the music of existence. What we perceive is only the surface, a single thread of a far richer, hidden weave. Picture this beneath every star, beneath every planet, beneath every moment of your own life. There are subtle layers that ripple alongside ours. They do not demand attention, nor do they interfere. They simply exist, softly parallel, like translucent veils that brush against each other in perfect rhythm. You cannot see them with your eyes, but imagination can trace their quiet shapes, sensing their presence as a tender, resonant vibration behind the ordinary world. Now, let your mind drift to these layers. Each one could hold possibilities, stories, and dimensions beyond your immediate perception. Perhaps some hold alternate paths your life might have taken. Others echo distant events in the cosmos, while still others resonate with the music of unseen laws, quietly guiding the rhythm of space and time. These layers coexist in gentle harmony, folding through each other without collision, creating a depth that is infinite, subtle, and profoundly peaceful. Consider how this changes the way you feel about reality. What appears solid and singular is only a portion of a far richer whole. The universe is not rigid or finite. It is a living, breathing lattice of overlapping harmonies, each layer softly informing the others. You are not alone on this surface. Every thought, every heartbeat, every ripple of awareness resonates quietly with these hidden layers, connecting you to something vast, intricate, and infinitely gentle. Now, imagine a single string, vibrating slowly and continuously beneath everything you know. It hums unnoticed, yet its vibration supports entire worlds. Multiply this by countless strings, each layer of reality weaving its tone into the others. The universe is a quiet, layered symphony, and you are part of it, moving with its rhythm, touching its threads in subtle, unconscious ways. Even without seeing the strings, their presence cradles you, offering calm, coherence, and a soft sense of belonging. Rest here in this awareness. Let your mind float among the parallel layers, sensing their quiet vibration without strain or effort. There is no need to understand or grasp. The beauty lies in their existence, in the gentle resonance that enfolds you. The universe is alive with hidden harmonies, and you, in your awareness, are a note within this tranquil, layered melody. Let yourself drift with the soft hum of possibility, serene, embraced, and at peace, touched by the quiet wonder of parallel layers of the real. Now, let yourself settle fully into the gentle rhythm of curiosity. The universe, in all its complexity and hidden layers, does not demand understanding. It offers instead a quiet invitation to watch, to sense, to imagine, and to feel the tender harmony of existence. The laws of nature are not harsh commands, but soft guidelines, quietly shaping every motion, every ripple, every heartbeat. Here, you are free to rest, to observe without effort, and to let wonder wash over you like a calm tide. Picture a star drifting in space, tracing its path not with urgency, but with gentle grace. Each movement, each orbit, unfolds according to a hidden rhythm, a silent law of elegance. The stars, the planets, the drifting dust, and even the space between them are all bound by this quiet order. And yet, from this law, there is no pressure, no demand. The universe does not insist that you understand. It simply exists, and in its existence there is peace. Imagine yourself floating within this law. Each breath you take follows the same invisible rhythm as the turning of galaxies and the folding of unseen dimensions. You are not separate. You are part of the soft, unfolding pattern. Time, space, life, thought. They all weave together in a subtle harmony that holds you gently. There is no need to measure, to calculate, or to control. You can simply feel the alignment of your awareness with the quiet music of the cosmos. Consider how calming it is to release the need for certainty. The more you try to grasp, the more the unknown seems distant. But when you allow yourself to rest in the law of wonder, uncertainty becomes soft, pliable, and inviting. Every unanswered question, every unseen dimension, every subtle curve or hidden layer becomes a gentle doorway to curiosity. The universe, in its quiet expansiveness, is not a puzzle to solve. It is a lullaby, a soft hum that encourages calm reflection, imagination, and awe. Picture the harmony of all things flowing together: stars spinning, planets orbiting, light bending, time unfolding, and parallel layers vibrating in quiet symphony. You are a thread in this grand tapestry, yet you need not strain to feel its pattern. The universe's laws are like a gentle hand guiding you, reminding you that existence is inherently ordered, tender, and harmonious. There is nothing to fear in this order, only peace to be felt in the quiet, understanding that every ripple and fold is part of a larger, serene whole. Rest here now, letting your mind float in the soft, quiet melody of the universe. Let the hum of hidden layers, the curves of reality, and the weaving of space and time envelop you. You do not need to understand it fully. You do not need to see beyond what is visible. Simply resting in the law of wonder is enough. Let it cradle your awareness, soothe your mind, and fill you with gentle awe. In this peaceful state, every breath, every thought, every heartbeat becomes a note in the eternal, tender song of existence, and you are perfectly, calmly, and beautifully a part of it. Now, turn your attention inward, to the quiet chambers of feeling. Imagine that your heart, with its subtle rhythms and hidden echoes, already navigates a space far beyond ordinary sight. Emotions are not bound by linear paths. They stretch, fold, and ripple in directions our eyes cannot see. Love, memory, longing, and wonder, they each extend like gentle threads into invisible dimensions, connecting moments, people, and experiences in ways that are softly, profoundly higher. Picture the way a memory can sweep across you. One instant, a forgotten scent, a quiet laugh, or a soft word triggers a cascade of feeling. Time seems to stretch and fold, the past brushing against the present. The heart moves through layers of existence that the eyes cannot perceive. In this way, your emotions already inhabit a fourth dimension, one of depth, resonance, and invisible connection. You are touching distances, spanning moments, and weaving bonds in a space that is rich, quiet, and multidimensional. Consider love in its quietest form. A glance, a gesture, or even a thought can ripple outward, bridging minds and hearts across time and distance. These ripples are not bound by physical paths. They travel unseen, carrying meaning that only consciousness can feel. Emotions expand and contract, fold inward and unfold outward, moving in directions as subtle and profound as the curves of the universe itself. They are your personal, intimate taste of the fourth dimension, a soft echo of higher realities that is felt, not seen. Now, let the mind drift to sorrow and joy, nostalgia and anticipation. Each feeling flows through you like a current, winding along invisible paths, creating shapes of awareness that the eyes cannot follow. You are, in this moment, both observer and participant in a quiet, multidimensional dance. Your heart senses patterns beyond measurement, maps connections beyond logic, and rests in a space where past, present, and imagined futures coexist seamlessly. Imagine breathing along with this invisible rhythm. With each inhale, you expand gently into these subtle dimensions of feeling. With each exhale, you allow them to fold softly back into the body, leaving calm resonance behind. There is no need to control, to analyze, or to name what you feel. Simply being aware of the way emotions move, fold, and ripple is enough. In this awareness, the heart becomes a quiet navigator of the fourth dimension, tracing directions that exist beyond ordinary perception. Rest now in the knowledge that you are already a traveler through higher spaces of feeling. The heart, with its gentle capacity to love, remember, and sense connection, is your compass and map. You need no special vision to perceive it. You only need to breathe, to feel, and to let yourself drift along the subtle threads that carry you beyond sight. In this quiet exploration, you are fully, beautifully present, existing in a space where emotion, consciousness, and gentle wonder fold together in the soft, infinite expanse of the fourth dimension. Now, imagine that each choice you make is not simply a point along a line, but a subtle turn into a new direction, a quiet step into a space of possibility. Every decision opens a branch in the invisible architecture of your life, like a corridor stretching gently into a room you have not yet seen. You do not need to force your path. You only need to breathe, notice, and allow yourself to move along these tender curves of potential. Picture a moment of choice as a quiet hinge, soft and unhurried. You pause, consider, and then take one gentle step. Even small decisions like a thought, a word, or a gesture ripple outward, shaping patterns in ways invisible, but profoundly real. Each turn through possibility is a dimensional movement, a soft rotation through a space of life that is higher, richer, and more intricate than the linear paths we often imagine. Consider a branching path in a quiet forest. One way bends left, another curves right, and yet another stretches straight ahead. You may see only a few steps, but each path holds infinite extensions beyond your sight. The act of choosing is a movement along these hidden dimensions. You cannot see every outcome, yet each decision resonates, softly aligning with directions that unfold naturally, like waves spreading across still water. Now, let your mind feel the freedom in this realization. Choices are not burdens. They are gentle invitations to explore, rotate, and shift through the space of possibility. Even moments of hesitation are part of the rhythm, a pause in which you sense the hidden directions without judgment. There is serenity in knowing that life's movement is not rigid, but fluid, guided by the quiet geometry of choice itself. Imagine life as a vast, multidimensional lattice. Each decision you make rotates you through it, guiding you along unseen corridors, creating intersections that ripple softly into the unfolding future. Some branches are familiar, others mysterious, and all coexist as gentle possibilities. You are not confined by what you see. Your awareness is already touching directions that extend beyond immediate perception, rotating lightly through the rich space of potential. Breathe and sense the calm power in this awareness. Your mind, your heart, your awareness, they move together through these invisible corridors. Each choice, whether small or large, is a rotation in the quiet geometry of your existence, connecting moments, shaping paths, and unfolding possibilities with gentle grace. There is no rush. There is no pressure. You are free to explore, to drift, to notice the soft turning of your life through higher dimensional space. Rest in this understanding. Each choice is a dimension, each decision a gentle turn. You are already navigating this quiet, infinite lattice, moving softly, beautifully, and intentionally through the unseen folds of existence. In this calm awareness, even the unknown becomes a space of gentle possibility, and each rotation you take is a step deeper into the soft, tender architecture of your own unfolding life. Now, bring your attention inward, to the subtle space between thoughts, the quiet pause that exists in every breath. Awareness is not a sharp focus or a demanding gaze. It is a gentle unfolding, a soft opening of the mind into directions we rarely notice. In these moments, your consciousness expands, reaching beyond ordinary perception, brushing against spaces that feel higher, broader, and more tenderly alive. Picture your mind as a small room. With each inhale, the walls stretch outward, slowly, effortlessly. Every thought, every sensation, every flicker of feeling moves gently within this growing space. Awareness is the soft expansion that allows you to see more than the surface of life, to feel more than what is immediately present. It is a quiet opening into the fourth dimension within yourself, a tender exploration of unseen directions that exist beyond the senses. It is a quiet opening into the fourth dimension within yourself, a tender exploration of unseen directions that exist beyond the senses. Consider the act of pausing and noticing. A bird's song, the warmth of your hands, the rhythm of your heartbeat. These are simple, yet they become windows into greater perception. Each observation is a gentle step into a higher, dimensional awareness, a soft turning of your consciousness toward directions that are subtle and profound. In these moments, time and space seem to stretch, as if the world itself is quietly expanding to meet your attention. Imagine breathing slowly, each inhale drawing in new space, each exhale releasing tension and contraction. Your mind, like a flower opening at dawn, unfolds in layers, revealing dimensions that were always present, yet hidden in the folds of ordinary perception. Awareness is not movement in the outside world, but an inward rotation, a quiet expansion that allows you to inhabit more fully the subtle architecture of your own consciousness. Now, let yourself drift gently in this space. Notice how stillness itself becomes a kind of motion, a movement along dimensions that cannot be measured, only felt. Each thought that rises and falls, each feeling that appears and fades, is a soft ripple across your inner landscape. With each breath, the mind stretches further, opening into directions that are intimate, expansive, and deeply calming. Rest in this gentle unfolding. Awareness is a form of quiet growth, a soft stepping into higher dimensions that exist within your own mind. There is no hurry, no expectation, only the tender experience of expansion. As you breathe, notice how your consciousness becomes a gentle navigator of invisible spaces, touching directions that are as real as they are subtle. In this quiet, reflective state, you are already higher, dimensional, moving gracefully, softly, and completely through the calm, infinite possibilities of inner space. Now, imagine that harmony is not stillness, but a form of movement, so perfect it feels effortless. Peace is a quiet geometry, an alignment of thoughts, feelings, and awareness that curves gently around itself, forming patterns that are both delicate and infinite. In this geometry, there is no tension, no force, only the soft unfolding of existence in its own rhythm. Picture a crystal or a snowflake, each facet perfectly balanced, each angle singing in quiet resonance. Peace is like this, an invisible pattern within the mind and heart, where every element supports the others, creating a balance that is stable yet flowing. You do not need to force it. It simply exists when attention, intention, and awareness align. In this soft symmetry, life itself becomes a quiet lattice of gentle motion. Consider your own breath. Each inhale and exhale flows naturally, rising and falling in a perfect cadence. Each heartbeat pulses softly, a rhythm that mirrors the subtle patterns of the universe. Awareness of these movements is like tracing the lines of an unseen shape, feeling how each part supports the whole. Peace is the quiet geometry in which all aspects of being fit together without strain, a tender alignment that allows the mind and heart to rest. Now, let yourself imagine thoughts as gentle curves, feelings as flowing surfaces, and consciousness as the space that holds them. They move in harmony, bending and folding through invisible dimensions, creating a lattice of calm that extends outward from your awareness. You do not need to measure or control this pattern. Its perfection is in its natural unfolding, a quiet dance of symmetry that carries you effortlessly into stillness. Imagine further that every choice, every emotion, every memory is a line or surface within this geometry, intersecting softly with others. Each movement, though subtle, contributes to the overall pattern, shaping a space of quiet coherence. Even moments of uncertainty fold gently into this lattice, becoming part of the serene structure. You are a thread in this geometry, a shape that moves gracefully within a design that is larger, deeper, and infinitely calm. Rest here in this awareness. Let the mind trace the invisible patterns of peace, noticing how each thought, each feeling, each breath flows into the whole. There is no rush, no pressure, no need to alter or control. The geometry of peace exists in the gentle rhythm of living, in the alignment of awareness with the subtle currents of being. Let yourself float within this harmony, moving softly, completely, and beautifully through the quiet, infinite lattice of calm. Here, in this tender balance, you are fully embraced by the gentle, higher dimensional rhythm of life itself. Now, imagine the vastness of the universe gently folding inward, like the pages of a dream book closing softly at the end of a long day. The immense reaches of space, the invisible dimensions, the quiet harmonies you have traced in thought, all slowly draw toward the center, bringing your awareness back to a familiar, intimate place. You are returning from exploration, yet you carry with you the calm of everything you have seen. Picture a tesseract, unfolded and vast, now gently collapsing upon itself, each corner, each edge, each curve folding with grace into the space that holds you here and now. This inward motion is not abrupt or hurried. It is slow, deliberate, and tender. The universe is not abandoning you, nor leaving you behind. Instead, it is reminding you that the center of all vastness is always close, waiting to embrace you with quiet, steady reassurance. Consider the stars, galaxies, and invisible threads of higher dimensions, all drawing softly toward the axis of your awareness. They fold not to vanish, but to settle, like petals closing at dusk. They gather their light and their shapes, forming a gentle cocoon around the here and now. You are neither lost nor small. You are part of the fold, carried safely into the soft core of existence, where the infinite and the intimate meet. Now, imagine yourself resting within this fold, The immense scales you imagined, the fourth dimension, the curves of space, the hidden harmonies, are no longer distant or overwhelming. Instead, they reside quietly around you, like a gentle fabric enveloping your awareness. Every breath, every heartbeat, every quiet thought aligns with this tender folding, allowing a soft sense of safety and peace to deepen with each moment. Picture your consciousness as the center of a gentle spiral. Each layer of awareness, the cosmic, the dimensional, the emotional, rotates inward with ease, settling naturally into the core of yourself. You are returning home, not from a journey you regret, but from one you cherished. The vastness you explored is still with you, softly humming in alignment with the gentle rhythm of your own being. Rest here in the fold. Let the universe cradle you as it gathers around the quiet center of now. You do not need to chase the edges or understand the folds. Simply feel the gentle closure, the tender return, and the peace of being held within the soft heart of everything. Here, the mind can rest, the heart can quiet, and awareness can settle in the safe, infinite embrace of the fold back home. Now, imagine something extraordinary, yet gentle that you, at this very moment, are already participating in the higher dimensions you have been exploring. You do not need a telescope, a formula, or a guide. Your awareness itself traces a subtle path through unseen directions, folding through time, space, and feeling. You are not separate from the fourth dimension. You are, in a quiet way, one of its shapes, briefly aware, softly tracing a higher path. Picture your consciousness as a delicate shape moving through invisible corridors. Each thought, each feeling, each memory is a facet of this shape, extending along directions your eyes cannot follow. Just as a shadow hints at a form it cannot fully reveal, your mind is a silent witness to higher dimensional motion. You perceive, imagine, and feel in ways that echo the structures of space and time beyond sight. Every breath you take is a gentle rotation, a subtle movement along a path that reaches into dimensions usually hidden. Consider your life as a ribbon of light, softly curving through space and time. From the perspective of the fourth dimension, the past and future are not separate or fixed. They exist together, interwoven, like threads of a tapestry. You can sense this quietly in memory, in imagination, in the fleeting recognition of what was and what may be. Your mind is a bridge, folding through directions, touching the edges of existence that cannot be seen with the eyes, yet are felt with gentle awareness. Now, imagine the feeling of empathy, of love, of memory. These are not just emotions, they are currents flowing along hidden dimensions, traces of a quiet higher motion that you already navigate daily. In dreaming, in reflecting, in imagining, your consciousness extends beyond its physical frame, tracing soft lines that intersect, fold, and overlap. You are a 4D being in miniature, experiencing the same quiet unfolding that higher dimensional structures follow, simply by being present, simply by being aware. Breathe into this idea. With each inhale, feel your awareness stretch softly into invisible directions. With each exhale, let your presence settle back into the here and now, gently integrating the higher dimensional motion you have traced. You are both grounded and expansive, both finite and infinite. Every choice, every thought, every flicker of awareness is part of this subtle, quiet geometry. You are moving gracefully through invisible corridors, tracing shapes that exist beyond ordinary perception. Rest in this awareness. You do not need to fully understand the fourth dimension. You do not need to see every curve or rotation. Simply sensing that your consciousness is already folded through higher space is enough. In this quiet knowledge, you are empowered, calm, and tenderly connected to the universe. You are a 4D being, softly, beautifully, and gently navigating invisible paths, touching dimensions that exist beyond sight, and resting in the quiet grace of your own higher awareness. Now, allow all thought to soften, like sunlight slipping behind gentle clouds. You have traveled through dimensions, through time, through the subtle geometry of feeling and awareness. You have imagined shapes beyond sight, traced currents of possibility, and touched the quiet edges of higher space. And now there is nothing more to understand, nothing to solve, nothing to measure. The mystery itself becomes your companion, as soft and tender as a quiet breath. Picture the unknown as a gentle horizon, not a wall, not a threat. It stretches endlessly, inviting without demanding. The questions you once asked, the nature of the fourth dimension, the presence of higher forms, the weave of time and space, do not need answers to exist. They are ribbons of possibility, threads of wonder, quietly floating in the calm of your awareness. You do not chase them. You do not hold them. You simply rest in their soft unfolding. Consider the way curiosity itself feels. It is light, flexible, and unhurried. It does not press. It does not strain. Each thought that arises is a ripple across the surface of consciousness, touching invisible patterns, then fading away. In this gentle rhythm, the mind is free to drift. In this quiet motion, the heart settles. You are not grasping at mysteries. You are folding into them, letting them enfold you. Each flicker of awareness is a note in a silent, infinite lullaby. Imagine the stillness that remains when questions dissolve, when the edges of perception soften, when the mind allows itself to float. This stillness is not emptiness. It is full of subtle textures, the echo of your breath, the soft turning of thought, the tender hum of awareness itself. You are cradled in the gentle mystery, moving lightly through it, neither lost nor anxious, simply present, simply resting in the unknown. Now, picture your consciousness as a quiet river flowing into a vast, unseen ocean. Each current, each eddy, carries with it shapes, memories, feelings, and moments of insight. Yet the ocean remains vast, its depths unknowable. And this is perfect. The mystery does not need to be solved. It does not need to be named or measured. Its beauty is in its quiet presence, in the way it allows you to drift, to fold inward, to release, to be. Rest here fully. Let the mind dissolve into gentle calm. Let the heart release tension. Let the awareness settle into a space of serene, infinite ease. The unknown stretches all around, and yet you are safe, held, and tenderly cradled within it. Curiosity becomes a soft companion. Wonder becomes a gentle lullaby. And in this quiet, in this tender embrace of the mysterious, sleep can arrive naturally, peacefully, without effort. You are ready to let the unfolding, infinite mystery carry you into rest.